Lately, I've been asking myself, if the tool gets the job done, do I really need to upgrade? And I really think about this. If I can utilize the current tools that I have to run a business, do I really need to spend even more money trying to keep up with the Joneses and purchase the latest and the greatest? Now, what put this in my mind is the new Canon R5 Mark II that just dropped. And I have to stop myself from scooping up that camera. And it has me looking at the Canon R5 Mark I a little funny, to be honest. But I had to ask myself, in 2024, is the Canon R5 Mark I still any good? Let's talk about it. Alright, as always, I'm going to do a little bit of a spec dump right now. The Canon R5 is a mirrorless 45 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor with a Digic X image processor camera with an ISO range of 100 to 51,000. It has a high speed continuous shooting of up to 12 frames per second with a mechanical shutter and up to 20 frames per second with an electronic shutter. It has dual pixel CMOS autofocus type 2 with over 1,000 autofocus areas, subject tracking of people and animals with an update that allows you to track cars. Video specs include 8K RAW, 4K and Full HD up to 120 FPS, 10-bit 422 with C-Log and C-Log 3, and internal recording in all those formats. Yeah, that's a lot packed into a camera that at the time was a little over $3,000. That's actually phenomenal. I don't know what constitutes as a flagship camera, but when I heard the specs of this camera, I was like, damn, this should be Canon's flagship. Now, I come from owning a Canon 80D and a Canon 90D, so this was my first ever professional camera. The other cameras get the job done, but I knew this one was going to get the job done better. I still remember the first shoot that I had with the Canon R5, and I have to say, I was in love with the autofocus right from the beginning. It made my life so much easier and helped me nail certain compositional techniques that helped me tell the story of the photo shoot. And ever since then, it's been my workhorse of a camera. Truly, I love this thing. I use it pretty much every day for photography and for videography. And as time flies by, I'm seeing newer cameras with better specs, but the R5 is perfect and still fits my needs incredibly well. Once again, I love this camera. But then that Mark II came out with improved specs and it had me looking at the Mark I a little funny. I was seeing all these influencers and they really had me thinking that I needed to upgrade just because. They had me thinking that this camera is so great that I was going to suddenly book my ideal clients, that I was going to get all these gigs, and that I was going to really start skyrocketing my business. So I started talking myself into buying the Mark II. But then I had to stop myself and think, am I simply talking myself into buying something that I truly don't need? And I was watching a video by my man, Luke Forsyth, and I really had this thought that the gear that you have now is good enough. People have made significant careers with much less, and I'm over here trying to buy the latest and greatest like it was going to catapult me to success. And to answer the question that started this entire video, yes, the Canon R5 is absolutely still good. Remember, the camera is always just a tool. You as the photographer or videographer utilizes that tool to get your desired results. I'm sure there are some professionals out there still with the Canon 5D Mark III, and they probably see absolutely no need to upgrade to the latest and the greatest. And I'm sure if they did, they would make their lives incredibly easier. But why should they? Keep working with your gear, master your craft, utilize your camera to its fullest extent, and I promise you, 5 or 10 years later, your camera equipment will still be good enough if you treat it well. Gear acquisition syndrome, it's such an annoying thing. Whenever a new piece of gear drops and the embargo lifts, you get all these influencers talking about how great this latest piece of tech is and how much you need to upgrade, and there's this level of toxicity that is wild to me. It's almost like you can't do your job without getting the latest and greatest. Well, that's how they make it seem, at least. And lately, I've tried to transition from wanting new gear and simply utilizing my current gear that I have to the highest level. And when it no longer fits my needs and my potential workarounds aren't working anymore, that's when I have to look into buying a new camera or getting a new piece of tech. And that's the awesome thing with this approach, is that when the newest and latest camera gear comes out, you tend to get this massive discount on older gear. And these cameras are built to last, so you can be getting a massive discount on really high-end equipment. I'm not going to lie, I find it a little annoying sitting on eBay or Facebook Market, but if you're willing to be patient, then you will absolutely enjoy the cost savings for sure. The point of all this is to simply love your gear, take care of it, or even take it out in the field and beat it up. But at the end of the day, make sure you use your current gear to the fullest and don't always rush to get the latest and the greatest, because people have made entire careers on much less. You don't always need to keep up with the Joneses. The gear you have now is good enough to get the job done. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you take care of yourself with love and respect. And until next time, peace.